How was it getting here?
Ride in was easy, wasn't too bad. It was about 4.5 hours, so it's really doable. I'm glad to make it down here for the first time and get to check it out.
What stood out to you first time?
Honestly, just the coaching is awesome. It seems like there's a real, even with the fresh hires on staff, it seems like everything's already still working together and clicking together. Coach T. Net over there is a great mind in his coaching, and I got to meet with him for a little bit and talk some football with him. So that was probably the thing that stood out to me.
What did T. Knight tell you about why he wants you, how you would fit in, and how they would use you?
Just one of the schools that sees me as a versatile player that can see me playing pretty much any place on the line. And the main thing, he was just trying to give me some stuff that I could take away, how to win certain pass sets, and just going over some film and seeing who he compares me to and players that he sees me being like and developing into.
You have a lot of versatility, Carter. I mean, do you have a preference of where you play, or?
I really don't have much of a preference. This high school year, I'm gonna try to play a little bit of everything.
Okay.
It's really, I'm just gonna try to get as much on film as I can of playing anywhere on the defensive line.
With what they do with their defensive scheme and their front, does that appeal to you? The fact that you can move around and have
yes, sir.
wear a lot
Absolutely.
of different hats,
Absolutely.
basically.
I just think that makes me more valuable, just because I'm a big guy, and I think my athleticism is what makes me stand out from other people. So being able to move around definitely, amplifies that.
Did you get a chance to meet with Coach Norvell?
Yes, sir.
What was that like? What was kind of the stuff he talked about?
It was awesome. We were just up in his room, and he was just really making it. He was really expressing to me that I'm a high priority for the program, and that he just loves on film. He can see that I have a high motor, and said it's just he likes to. He feels like I'm a leader, and that's one of the things he said. He wants to recruit players that look like they can bring their team together and stuff like that. He sees that in me. So.
Do you want to get back here between now and your official?
Absolutely. I think we are going to try to make it down to a spring practice too.
Okay.
What do you want to see when you make it to that spring practice?
I just want to see how Coach Knight coaches his defensive linemen and see how he really gets involved in the practice and get the, since the players aren't here right now, really get a feel for the players too, and see how stuff is in the locker room and just stuff like that in the position meeting rooms, seeing how he gets to really get involved with his guys, just stuff that I haven't been able to see today. But
Carter, you got an official coming up in June. You visited the day in the spring. I mean, how are you now feeling about FSU? Where they kind of stack up with everyone?
I mean, Florida State is definitely one of my tops right now. I mean, I got 4 officials locked in, and those are I'm gonna choose between one of those schools, and so they're definitely in my top.
So they're in the team that just stands out right now. So is there a team that stands out solely?
I wouldn't say a single team.
Okay.
Solely stand out, but it's definitely a high pick for me.
And then particularly with FSU, is there something unique about this place? So now that you experience kind of a more personal side of the staff?
Yeah, I like everything about Florida State. Honestly, I've always been a little bit of I've always kind of rooted for Florida State, even as a kid. My brother really liked Florida State during his recruiting process, and honestly, just Coach Knight, I like his authenticity. Just feels like he's a real guy, and that's what I look for in a coach. Is not going to be fake when I meet him and switch up when I get on campus, and it's just he knows what he's talking about. Great, a bunch of experience, and he's honestly just been great everywhere he's been. So
you brought up your brother. How do you deal with that? Because a lot of people are probably like, hey, he's just going to go to Georgia because his brother goes there. I mean, how do you look at the recruiting process? I mean, is that a factor, or is it?
Lawson tells me, like, even with Lawson, he tells me that's like, don't even think about that. It's not about that for me, and I'm gonna go where I think I got the best relationship and the best chance to get to my end goals, and my end goal is to play in the NFL and support my family that way. And if Florida State is where I feel like that's gonna be, it's gonna be Florida State.
Thanks, Carter.